One of the times of my life I had to fight a lot of negative thoughts is when I lost my dad. I had to fight a lot of negative thoughts. I had to fight a lot of emotions, and at that moment I had one of the strongest battle of the mind with my mind. I know a story of a woman who thought of a particular disease for a very long time. She was really afraid of the disease. Law of attraction always works when it comes to the mind. You may think negatively, but the challenge comes when you say it loud. Because when you say it, you give life to that word. Our mind is like a battlefield. Every day we fight with our mind. We fight on the negative thoughts our mind may present every day. Now, to an extent, you cannot totally win the war, but you can win each time you fight with your mind. One of the ways to build a strong mindset is to meditate. Create a strategy to meditate every day, maybe 30 minutes. Meditation shifts our attentions to the positive side of our lives. There's a difference between thinking about things and thinking too much. When you think about things, you're looking for solution. But if you're thinking too much, you're literally worrying about the things you cannot control. Next time, we cannot fight negative thoughts completely from our head. These thoughts are bound to come because the battle of the mind sometimes requires you to fight those negative thoughts. Now, fighting and beating the negative thoughts that pop up in our head is simply by not saying it loud. You may think negatively, but the challenge comes when you say it loud. Because when you say it, you give life to that word. You may fight the thoughts in your head. That's why we call it the battle of the mind. Fight the thought. Don't let it out through your mouth. Because the moment you say it, you have given life to the word. Our mind is like a battleground. Every day we fight with our mind. Our mind has a lot to present to us, and we have a lot to present to our mind. You only win when you try to control what your mind gives to you. It's not everything our mind gives to us we need to receive. One of the times of my life I had to fight a lot of negative thoughts is when I lost my dad. Trust me on this. When this happened, I felt like the world was on my head. I had to fight a lot of negative thoughts. I had to fight a lot of emotions. And at that moment, I had one of the strongest battle of the mind with my mind. My mind had a lot to present to me, and I had a lot to present to my mind. At that moment, I had to control what my mind gives to me. The mind is one of the most powerful tools that we always have. We have the ability to control how we feel, what we think, and what we say. If we can control our mind, we can control our life. The moment your mind wins you in a battle, the mind wins your life. When you are being controlled by your mind, that is a challenge. So at this moment when I lost my dad, I had to learn a lot of things. Like, there's a skill called adaptability. This is a skill that we need to know, we need to learn to adapt to changes. Changes are imminent. Change must always come. Change are constant. At that moment, I felt like I had the power to control my mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. The way you think, you become. You are the product of your thoughts. To an extent, I don't pray not to receive attacks. I instead pray to have the ability to fight them when they come. Because as far as we live in this world, attacks are imminent. They must be part of the process. During this time of my life, I try to win my mind. I try to win the negative thoughts of my mind. Our mind always has that power to present a lot of negative thoughts. The moment you win your mind, you're literally winning your life. Now, when we go through a lot of life experiences, challenges, hard times, attacks, these times are always and will always be part of the process. Now, hard times and challenges come to test you, to see how strong you are for the next level. Hard times and challenges either build you or break you, depending on how you receive them. That is why our response is more important than the events in life. The things that happen to us are not that important compared to how we react to those things. Life challenges always shape our reality. The moment we go through challenges, at that moment we get stronger to face more hard times. Now, I used to feel like some people don't go through challenges, but trust me, everyone goes through challenges. But what happens is, the more you grow, the ability for you to handle challenges increases. At that moment, you feel like you handle a lot of challenges more easier compared to other people. Now, changing the way we think is basically our responsibility. That is shifting our attention to the positive aspects of our lives. Negativity only comes when we focus on the negative aspects of our lives. I know a story of a woman who thought of a particular disease for a very long time. She was really afraid of the disease, but she kept on thinking about the disease every day, and to an extent, she attracted the disease to herself by thinking upon the disease for a very long time. The law of attraction always works when it comes to the mind. The things we think for long becomes our reality. If you think on the positive aspects of your life continually, it becomes your reality. The thing you think, you become. Now, when you feel down sometimes, you can focus more on the things that you're grateful for, the things you feel excited about. Thinking positively always may be really uncertain, so you have to understand that the negative thoughts sometimes are part of the process, but negativity becomes a challenge when you voice it out. Having negative thoughts in your head may be part of the process, but the challenge is when you say it, because when you say it, you give life to the negative thoughts. Now, to an extent, the society plays an important role when it comes to our mental health development. Most of the times we pay attention to the things we see. That is our outward appearance. We pay less attention to our mental health because we may not see what is going on upstairs. We have to understand this. Our mind is like a battlefield. Every day we fight with our mind. We fight on the negative thoughts our mind may present every day. Now, to an extent, you cannot totally win the war, but you can win each time you fight with your mind. What we think, we become. The Holy Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So the things you think, you attract them to yourself. Now, this is a foundational law that works regardless of your knowledge of their existence or not. Being aware of our thoughts is a thumbs up to this process. Our thoughts will always shape our reality. I keep saying this, the way you think is the way you become. You are the product of your thought. One of the ways to build a strong mindset is to meditate. Create a strategy to meditate every day, maybe 30 minutes. Meditation shifts our attentions to the positive side of our lives rather than the negative sides of our lives. Now, there's a difference between thinking about things and thinking too much. When you think about things, you're looking for solution. But if you're thinking too much, you're literally worrying about the things you cannot control. Now, there are times you may feel overwhelmed with your thoughts. These times must come, and they are part of the process. These times you have to take a break from the outside world and focus on yourself to see how you can maneuver and control your mind.